Hi everybody, it's Samantha. From celebrities that remain friends after just a few months of marriage to bitter breakups in days. These are the shortest celebrity marriages.
Number 13. Wiz Khalifa and Amber Rose. Many of the failed marriages to make this list ended with at least one, if not both parties with feelings of contempt. In the case of Amber Rose and Wiz Khalifa though, they've shown nothing but love for one another, despite divorcing in 2014. The pair were engaged in March of 2012, but weren't wed until July 2013.
By September of the following year, Rose filed for divorce and referenced irreconcilable differences for the reason.
Since the split, Khalifa and Rose have appeared on each other's Instagram accounts, were photographed partying at a mutual friend's house, and have spoken well of each other to the media, even though both have moved on to new romantic partners. Number 12. Katy Perry and Russell Brand. Initially meeting at the filming of Get Him to the Greek in 2009, pop star Katy Perry and actor-comedian Russell Brand hit it off later that year at the MTV Video Music Awards. After just 4 months of dating, the pair got engaged while vacationing in India. They returned the following October for their marriage ceremony, taking part in traditional Hindu rituals to celebrate the union. A little over a year together proved to be too much for Brand though, and filed for divorce on December 30th, 2011. Perry said in interviews that the breakup was due to conflicting schedules and Brand's want for children, along with not liking her being the boss in the relationship.
Brand has somewhat backed these claims, stating that while he was really in love with her, their inability to spend time together consistently drove them apart.
Perry told Vogue that the last time they spoke was via text message when Brand informed her he was filing for divorce. Nevertheless, there seems to be no ill will between the exes, as Brand declined half of nearly $44 million after their split, given the couple never signed a prenuptial agreement. Number 11. Elisabeth Moss and Fred Armisen. It's easy to fall for someone that makes you laugh. Mad Men star Elisabeth Moss found this out firsthand when she married Saturday Night Live cast member Fred Armisen. After knowing each other for just a year, the two rushed into marriage in October of 2009. This union would turn out to be no laughing matter though, as the pair were separated by June of the following year. With Moss filing for divorce in September 2010, Moss would go on to call her marriage with Armisen extremely traumatic and awful and horrible. She has said that Armisen would pretend to be a normal person, an issue he himself attributes to intimacy issues. In various interviews, he expressed the fascination with the fantasy of a married life, especially to a Mad Men actress, and his acceptance into that circle of performers. By Armisen's own admittance, he apparently struggles with separating the larger-than-life characters or performers from the person playing those roles, leading to phases of intense infatuation, followed by panic when reality sets in. Number 10. Jeremy Renner and SONNI PACHECO. Not all marriages work out, and some provide nothing but negative memories and despair. But when you're a father like Jeremy Renner, even a failed marriage can't be a failure given his adoration for his daughter, Ava Berlin. Born just 3 months after his marriage to Canadian model and actress SONNI PACHECO, Renner has professed in interviews that views his daughter as his current main focus in life, regarding anything else including filming movies as a distraction. Unfortunately, these feelings don't extend to his now ex-wife, who split with Renner after being married just 10 months. According to unnamed sources, the two rarely got along with Renner, hoping to make it work for the sake of their child. Things turned messy though when the divorce entered the discussion, with PACHECO initially demanding an invalidation of their prenup and sole custody of Ava. Eventually, Renner was able to win split custody, and he is currently able to spend much of his time being an attendant father. Number 9. AALIYAH and R. Kelly. As the late songstress, AALIYAH made her rise up the R&B and pop charts in the mid-1990s, she maintained close guidance from her mentor R. Kelly. But in 1994, the student-teacher relationship took a romantic turn when the pair wed in August of 1994.
To make matters more complicated, AALIYAH had obtained falsified documents stating her as 18 years of age from Kelly's tour manager. In reality, she was just 15. R. Kelly was 27.
The marriage occurred without her parents' permission, and by February of the next year, after Vibe magazine had broken the news, AALIYAH's parents had the illegal marriage annulled. Perhaps the biggest hint towards this forbidden engagement came in the name of AALIYAH's first album, which she recorded with Kelly, titled Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. After having records of this marriage expunged, AALIYAH went on to cut off all ties with Kelly, even refusing to discuss him in interviews after their split. Number 8. Drew Barrymore and Tom Green. Since the age of 16, actress Drew Barrymore has had the streak of bad luck when it comes to marriages. Originally engaged to Leland Hayward, grandson of the famed Hollywood producer of the same name, this engagement only lasted a few months. The following year, she was engaged to actor and musician Jamie Walters until 1993, during which time they shared a residence. Then in 1994, she married an LA bar owner for a measly 2 months before calling it quits. She then steered clear of wedding bells until 1999, when she thought she had met the funny man of her dreams in Tom Green. The MTV star and rising comedian engaged Barrymore in 2000, eventually being wed on July 7, 2001. By that December though, Green was ready to call it quits, filing for divorce just 163 days after their wedding. Green has said they haven't talked in years. However, the two mutually speak well of each other when the subject of their short-lived marriage comes up. Number 7. Renee Zellweger and Kenny Chesney. Celebrity philanthropy can provide a light in the darkness for regular people, with the stars of pop culture providing resources that would normally require communities to raise millions of dollars hers to afford. But for country musician CHESNEY and actress RENEE ZELLWEGER, philanthropy brought more than support to tsunami survivors. It brought them together in love. After meeting at NBC's Tsunami Relief Telethon in 2005, the two began seeing each other before getting married that May on the island of St. John within 4 months. Though CHESNEY and ZELLWEGER decided to have their marriage annulled, with ZELLWEGER citing fraud as the qualifying reason. Media outlets classed onto this terminology, and after widespread scrutiny, ZELLWEGER clarified that the term was simply legal jargon, and in no way reflected CHESNEY's character. In later interviews, CHESNEY would blame himself, stating that he had panicked and saying, "The only fraud that was committed was me thinking I knew what it was like, that I really understood what it was like to be married, and I really didn't." Number 6. Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Esposito. Long before starring as an American hero, a hungover playboy, or a CGI raccoon, Bradley Cooper married actress Jennifer Esposito back in December 2006. Their marriage only lasted 122 days, with Esposito filing for divorce in May of the following year. Cooper told magazines that their breakup was a mutual decision, saying that the marriage just wasn't right, and that it was something that they both realized. But in her tell-all book, Jennifer's Way, published in 2014, Esposito wrote of an unnamed boo that was arrogant and a master manipulator, capable of revealing a mean cold side and a mood that could flip on a dime.
After writing about the events that led to her split with this mystery man, she detailed moving on to a sitcom with Christina Applegate that aired in 2007.
Given this timeline, it's easy to trace her description as being a thinly veiled account of her time with Cooper, but this conclusion has never been directly confirmed by either party. Number 5. Pamela Anderson and Kid Rock. 90s starlet Pamela Anderson experienced her share of romantic rough times during the height of her popularity. Marrying Tommy Lee of Motley Crue fame just 4 days after meeting him proved to be a premature decision when she divorced him just 3 years later. Musician Kid Rock had endured his own love life trials and tribulations after having a child with his on-again, off-again grade school sweetheart, whom he broke up with after finding out that one of the children he was raising with her wasn't his. The two began dating in 2001 and were engaged within a year, but broke up by 2003. Then, 3 years later, the marriage was abruptly announced to be back on, with the ceremony commencing on July 29, 2006, aboard a yacht near the west coast of France. Just 4 months later, she filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences, just a couple weeks after Anderson had suffered a miscarriage during the filming of a new movie.
Some media coverage speculated the split to be due to anger felt by Kid Rock after seeing Anderson's cameo role in screening of the film Borat.
But Kid Rock later claimed that their divorce arose from her supposed tendency to openly criticize his mother and sister in front of his son. Number 4. Lisa Marie Presley and Nicolas Cage. Not everyone gets to meet their idol, but if you're lucky, you might get to marry their daughter. Such was the case for actor Nicolas Cage when he wed Lisa Marie Presley in August of 2002. Both had withstood prior failed marriages at the time, with Cage having married his first wife, Patricia Arquette, in 1995, and Presley's past husbands including Danny Keough and the king of pop, Michael Jackson. She was even engaged to a third suitor, rock musician John Orzechka, when she first met Cage at a party, an encounter that would lead to her calling off her previous engagement. But after less than 4 months, the newlywed put a kibosh on their relationship, with Cage filing for divorce in November of the same year. The court proceedings that followed lasted over a year and a half, ending in May of 2004. In all, the process to divorce lasted almost 5 times the length of their marriage. Number 3. Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphries. Now known as half of the notorious celebrity couple of Kim Kardashian wasn't always married to the polarizing personality of Kanye West. Before she met the producer, rapper, designer extraordinaire, Kardashian had already married twice previously, and her second marriage barely lasted more than 2 months. After dating Kris Humphries, power forward for the New Jersey Nets at the time, for just 8 months, the two were married in August of 2011. The ceremony was broadcast across a 2-part TV special for the E! Network. In addition, Kardashian launched a new perfume earlier that month, called Love by Kim Kardashian, meant to embody a wedding fragrance. So when she filed for divorce just 72 days later in October, given the high-profile promotion of the event, rumors swirled of the engagement being a little more than publicity stunt for the Kardashian clan. Media attention towards the breakup eventually settled down after Kim filed suit against a man claiming to be a former publicist, forcing him to reverse claims of the wedding having shallow intentions. Number 2. Carmen Electra and Dennis Rodman. Amid a tumultuous time in Carmen Electra's life, the actress and model married her boyfriend at the time, Dennis Rodman. NBA superstar, having recently lost her mother to brain cancer and her older sister to a heart attack, the pair were finding solace in Las Vegas in November of 1998. After a long night of partying, Electra and Rodman wed at the Little Chapel of Flowers after dating for about 8 months. But just 9 days later, Rodman had already filed an annulment, attributing his supposed lack of judgment to fraud and an unsound mind during the ceremony. The pair made up by New Year's Eve though, and Rodman retracted his annulment. But they would only go on to last a few more months, officially agreeing to divorce in April of the following year. Electra has stated in an interview with Glamour that this marriage was an emotional response to her despair at the time, hoping to cope with her loss by clinging to her boo. And now for our number 1. Don't forget to subscribe subscribe. Number 1. Britney Spears and Jason Alexander. Pop icon Britney Spears is known for playing on her innocence to create subliminally seductive hit singles, as seen in the popular music video for Baby One More Time. In January of 2004, she married her childhood friend Jason Allen Alexander in a spur-of-the-moment ceremony at Las Vegas's A Little White Wedding Chapel.
Within 55 hours, the marriage was annulled under the argument that Britney lacked understanding of her actions.
6 months later, Spears infamously married again, this time to her backup dancer Kevin Federline.
Today's featured comment comes from Nifa Bangay on our Untold Truth of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson video. Thanks for your comment, Nifa. Don't forget to leave your thoughts below and I might feature you in a future video. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.